Okay, let's start with day two of my journey to try to get to 2000 on the blitz time control on chess.com. Uh, let's just start by saying that I really suck at this game. So I played a couple of games today. So let's take a look at the first game. Um, so first game starts with a Rui Lopez or Spanish opening. My opponent decides to capture my knight, which I mean it's an option. Um, then he defends his pawn um, and threatens to capture my pawn. So I make a really strange move. Uh, it probably would have been best to defend the pawn, but with the bishop, but I decided to just play a weird variation so that the opponent doesn't get into any theoretical lines that he may have prepared. So, uh, and sure enough, the opponent just does a nonsensical move, moves to h3. I mean, it's not a bad move by itself, but it doesn't do anything. I mean, it doesn't prevent anything. So, all right, so I counter by doing the same, playing a nonsensical move. So, I mean, it reinforces the center, but it doesn't develop any pieces. So, uh, and my opponent starts to attack my center. So I move my queen and threaten to capture his pawn and then uh, his pawn on d4 and then capture the pawn on e4. So captures and I capture with my knight and we exchange pieces. Um, then he castles. Now I can't capture the pawn on e4 because then if I capture it, um, then I would lose my queen. Simple as that. So that's a non. That's not a move that you want to make. So, all right. So I develop my uh, bishop. So I want to be able to castle queenside, and then maybe start attacking him on the other side. So I do that, and then uh, I develop my bishop. So basically guaranteeing that I'm going to win a pawn. So this is uh, one way of defending. I mean, if the opponent had defended, because I'm threatening mate here, I'm threatening mate on um, uh, here on h2, so he needs to cover the diagonal. So he can't move the pawn to cover that because I would capture with my bishop and then start storming with my pawn here, and it would be bad news for him. So he moves the queen, and I capture it, and then win a pawn. So everything's good. Um, then he develops his bishop, um, and I develop my rook. So then he advances a pawn, which I mean at this point the advancing pawn doesn't do anything. Um, and I move the bishop so that I can get more scope for my rook. And we start to move pieces, so we make a lot of trades. And here I made a big blunder. I didn't take his knight with my bishop. I mean, it was pretty obvious, but I didn't see it. That's one of the problems that I have. is that my first instinct is when one of my pieces is being attacked is my first instinct is to move the piece that's being attacked. I don't look to see what other options I have, and I have to work on that. Otherwise, I'm never gonna go up in rating in this at this level. So, so I move my bishop, which is very bad, and then uh, we exchange pieces, and looks like I'm in pretty good position here. So, I mean, I'm up a pawn, and just uh, trying to simplify a little bit so that I can create a pass pawn and win. Uh, so, but somehow I managed to screw this up. Um, I mean, this is an example. Another example of what I was talking about. Um, my king is being attacked, and instead of trying to look for other options, I moved my king. I mean, I could have captured his pawn and then moved my king, and he would have had a weakness on d5, and I would have a prize pawn. So I don't know what I'm thinking here. Um, so I instead I gave him a target so that he can attack later on. So we exchange, and I don't. I mean, I'm still up a pawn, but it's a meaningless pawn. It's a double pawn. I so we make a few moves, and then he starts attacking me. And here, there's another example. I mean, I'm down on time, so those are just typical mistakes. I was trying to create a pass pawn, but I didn't realize that I didn't realize that I was not gonna be on time to promote the pawn. He's gonna be faster, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm pretty lost here, and that's the game. So okay, so I mean, there are two clear examples here of what I need to work on. I need to develop uh, my instincts so that I don't automatically move a piece as attacked. I need to be able to look at other options. So um, let's go back and take a look at the other games. Uh, the other one is I was black again. Um, so here my opponent played a Jababa London, which is an opening that I like. I don't really like that opening for white. I mean, it's using a system that I saw a Grandmaster propose, in which you gain space on the queen side, and so this system basically consists of developing the bishop to b7, and then the knight to d7, and white has no advantage basically. That's so we follow this rule. My opponent tries to attack my queen side, so I push his knight around. And at first, I mean, the computer thinks that advancing the pawn to b3 here is the best move. I don't think it was the best move, but because I mean, I'm closing off the queen side, so I didn't want that. So he exchanges my pawns, but now he has a pass pawn, but I mean he has no space. I mean he could try to attack me on the king side, but I think I'm gonna be faster here. So I start with my pieces and try to attack him. So he exchanges pieces, and I mean I've had my pieces are too active. So I mean, we exchange pieces, and then I attack him. So he tries to advance, but he ignores the fact that I can fork his knight and rook. So I win a free piece, and the rest is actually just pretty basic. There's nothing to say here. I mean, I even give him back a piece, and it doesn't make a difference because I advanced my pawns. So I mean, can't prevent me from getting a queen. So we just start mopping up. I even did not capture his knight because I didn't even need it. So just start to mop up all his pawns, and he resigns here because he has nothing to do. So this was a pretty clean game on my part, uh, in contrast to the first one. So bottom line, I didn't get any points today because I ended with the same rating as yesterday. So that's the video. Thank you for watching.